of innovation, sustainability, and digital transformation. This conference serves as a beacon for academicians, scholars, practitioners, and thought leaders from around the world to converge, exchange ideas, and chart a course towards a more resilient and prosperous future. I would like to extend a special welcome to our visionary founder, Dr. G. Viswanathan, sir, whose steadfast leadership and unwavering commitment to excellence have laid a foundation for the success of our institution. Alongside him, I extend a warm welcome to our Vice Presidents, Mr. Shankar Vishwanathan, sir, Dr. Shekhar Vishwanathan, sir, and Dr. G.V. Selvam, sir, whose guidance and support continue to inspire us in all endeavors. I'm deeply honored to welcome and to stand before you alongside our esteemed colleagues and partners. Let's welcome Dr. S.V. Kotareddy Garu, Vice Chancellor of VITAP University, who is our motivating and inspirational leader. Of course, through his motivation only, this international collaboration was happened. So give a big applause to VC sir. And who have played a pivotal role in shaping the academic excellence of our institution. And also I welcome our great Dr. Jagdish Chandra Mudiganti, Registrar, VITAP University, who supports us with his dynamic operational leadership. Give a big applause to him. We are also privileged to have Dr. Ravindra Tuli, sir, Academic Dean of Research, whose dedication and motivation is for advancing research knowledge, which is commendable. We all know that, right? Furthermore, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Paps Muppa from JB Morgan Design Recruiting, Chase and Company, New Jersey, United States, who presence underscores the global significance of our conference. Okay, welcome, sir. Likewise, especially we are honored to have Dr. Madi Chia, Associate Professor and International Relations Director from the prestigious Newcastle Business School at the University of Newcastle. Let us welcome him. Give a big applause. And also with Ms. Jayashree Gopal, Partnership Manager from the University of Newcastle, who will be adding value to this conference as a keynote speaker after this inauguration. Let's welcome her. And one of the most important person from Newcastle University, let me wholeheartedly thank him, Dr. Guruprit Singh, Director, South Asia. He is sick, so he was not able to attend the conference, but he is watching us through the YouTube link. The University of Newcastle, whose collaboration enhanced the depth and breadth of our research, discourse, and deliberation. We all know that, so we should thank Newcastle University people and all of them. Also welcome Dr. Isabella, CEO, Institute of Better Future Australia, who is our publication partner for Springer. I think she is also watching us from Australia. And also Dr. Balakrishnan Muniappan, University, Malaysia. Both are going to be our keynote speaker for the day 2 of this conference. And also Mr. Sandeep, CEO, Maxman Consulting, and Jaya Cotton, who will be our chief guest for valedictory function tomorrow, who has also joined us online for this inauguration event. He is also watching us, right? Also, I welcome Dr. Sudarshan Jaising from SSN Engineering College from HCL Group, Chennai, who's going to be our physical chair of our research presentation for the next 2 days. Welcome, Professor Sudarshan Jaising. A special welcome is also extended to all our great intellect participants from various institutions and industry who will be joining us physically as well as virtually from across the globe. Thank you all for participating in this great event. Your diverse perspective and insights enrich the dialogue and contribute to the vibrancy of our conference. I welcome our great deans, directors, and associate dean of VSB, Dr. Raghavendra, sir. Welcome you for our conference. To welcome, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the tireless efforts of our conveners of the conference, Dr. Sita Lashmi and Dr. Madhusmita and Dr. Shogail Agamet and Dr. Azrar. Thank you. Thank you very much. Give a big, big applause to them. Especially, I welcome our beloved faculty members. Without them, it is not possible. And also our beautiful research scholar. Thank you, all of you. And students, give a big, big applause to all of you, students. Our students are so-called prospective managers, entrepreneurs, and intrapreneurs. We all know that. Okay. I welcome our sponsor, Global Degrees MD, Mr. Justin Meena Kumar Garu. He is also observing us. All the media persons and supporting staff, a special mention to PRO, Mr. Dayanand Garu, Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Ravi Tota Garu, our Ravi Kiran Saru, and guest house, our HR madam, I think she's here, okay, and Deputy Manager HR. Thanks for coming. Your dedication and hard work have been instrumental in bringing this event to fruition. Over the next few days, we will engage in stimulating discussion, discourse, deliberation to explore emerging trends and share insights on how innovation and sustainable business practice can drive us forward in this era of rapid digital transformation. Through keynote speeches and paper presentation sessions and networking with the research participations, I'm confident that we will emerge inspired and equipped with new perspectives and strategies to address the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each one of you. May this conference be a catalyst for meaningful collaborations, fruitful exchanges, and lasting impact. That's very important. Let the third annual International Conference of VITAP School of Business commence. Thank you, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for setting the tone for today's proceedings. It is time for us to understand the conference, its objectives, and its future agenda. I invite Dr. Sohail Ahmed Bhatt, convener of the conference, to enlighten us about the conference theme. Over to you, sir.
Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.V. Kota Reddy, Registrar, Dr. Jagdish Chandra Mudganti, Chief Guest, Mr. Paps Mupa, Guest of Honor, Dr. Mary Chai from University of Newcastle, Ms. Jayashri, Business Partnership Manager from University of Newcastle, In-charge Dean VSB, Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar, Dean Academic Research, Dr. Ravinder Doli, Deans from different schools, faculty colleagues, research scholars, students, a very good morning to all of you. So we gather here, a warm welcome to all esteemed dignitaries, scholars, delegates, and participants for joining us today on the third International Conference, Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in Digital Era 2024, organized by VITAP School of Business, VITAP University. As we gather here, the theme of our conference, Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in Digital Era 2024, underscores the critical juncture of innovation and sustainability in the contemporary business landscape. In an era marked by rapid technological advancements, it becomes imperative for businesses to not only innovate, but adopt innovations, sustainability, considering the environmental, social, and economic impacts of their actions. So the idea behind selecting this theme, innovation and sustainable business practices, was the disruptive technological innovations and the sustainable development goals. The businesses should adopt innovations, technological innovations, but not at the cost of sustainability. So we hope the keynote speakers during the coming 2 days will sensitize our participants, our research scholars, regarding the disruptive innovations and its impact on the business ecosystem. The conference serves as a platform for creation and sharing of knowledge, where ideas and insights are exchanged to address the challenges and opportunities presented in the digital revolution. Our comprehensive program comprises of 4 keynote sessions and 9 technical sessions that aim to facilitate the meaningful discussions that will inspire us towards building a more resilient and responsible business ecosystem. I'm delighted to highlight some of the key themes that we have covered during the conference, like digital transformation in business research model innovation, sustainable supply chain management in digital age, technology-driven marketing strategies for sustainability, ethical implications and AI and big data in business, green technologies and renewable energy solutions, digital entrepreneurship and startup ecosystems. I'm pleased to announce our collaboration with esteemed universities such as University of Newcastle and Institute of a Better Future, Australia, reflecting our commitment for fostering international partnership and global dialogue in academia and industry. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our publication partners, RAUSP Management Journal, IUP Journal of Corporate Governance, and Springer Book Series, their invaluable support in disseminating the research outcomes of this conference to a wider audience. Special thanks goes to our sponsors, Global Degrees and Indian Bank, whose generous contribution have made this conference possible. With a total 133 papers received from India and outside India, from India, almost all state central universities, even from IIMs, we received the papers. And from outside India, we received papers from Australia, US, UK, Canada, Malaysia, Oman, UAE, Ethiopia, etc. The quality and diversity of the submissions underscore the significance of our conference theme. After a rigorous review process, we are proud to announce the acceptance of 109 papers for presentation in the coming 2 days, reflecting the depth and breadth of research in this field. Over the course of conference, we'll have a total 9 technical sessions conducted both online and offline. Online 80 papers will be presented and offline 29 papers will be presented, providing ample opportunities for engaging and interaction among the participants. I would like to draw my attention to the best research paper award track-wise as well as the overall conference, recognizing outstanding contribution to the field of innovation and sustainable business practices. I invite each one of you to actively participate, engage, and collaborate in this enriching intellectual journey. Let's harness the power of innovation to drive sustainable change and shape a better future for generations to come. I'll conclude my talk with this quote: coming together is beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Now, as we embark on this enlightening journey, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly join us for the traditional lamp lighting ceremony. Thank you. Now, as we proceed forward, I request Dr. Rabindra Dhuli, sir, Dean Academic Research, to address the gathering.
Good morning, one and all. So, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, faculty members, scholars, students, deans, directors, all the staff members who are working continuously for the success of this conference. Welcome, one and all. So, actually, it is more or less a proud moment for me also. You know, when it comes to a kind of conducting conference, you know, which involves a kind of research, scholars. Obviously, I feel being part of it. So not just because I am called on the dais, wherever I sit, when a conference happens, you know, academic research will be part of it. So particularly, we have gone through the entire journey of conference started like, you know, in the dean's meeting where our VC sir insisted that every school must conduct an international conference. That's where the journey started. And next target he gave is you should collaborate with some international universities. You know, I remember, you know, how it started, like a, you know, small, the way, you know, the river originates drop by drop, and finally it merges in ocean. I can see the way the thought process has started with the basic instructions from VC sir and how it evolved, how Dean in charge, our Arun sir, made it happen. Now, first of all, actually, we can see basically the school VSB working together. And obviously, business school brings always a different flavor to anything. So we organize international conference from technical departments. But when it comes to VSB, altogether they bring a different kind of color, you know, attraction, beauty, you know. We all should actually learn. Actually, we are happy. Next conference, I hope that we also make things more colorful, attractive, and things like that. Now we learn things from each other, and basically, there are actually many people invisible. You know, like the foundations of building. You know, our registers are also make things happen, and he will never be visible anywhere. You know, the structure, the foundation, and many people here, not only the coordinators, you know, the starting from the school level volunteers, research scholars, non-teaching people, you know, particularly, you know, the technical for the online session, the technical support, everything actually. Organizing a conference is not a small thing. See, organizing a workshop, organizing a guest lecture, it's entirely different. But when it comes to organizing a conference, it needs minimum 1 year preparation. And the process of review, getting quality papers, reviewing them, presenting them, you know, developing a proceeding. Actually, it's not a small thing. Even after concluding a conference, you know, it's a long journey. After concluding the conference, you know, bringing the proceedings online, so many things will follow up. Actually, it is a beginning. Actually, as one of our professors started, this conference is a kind of beginning, and in years to come, we are going to have many things with the excellent support from our management, our VC sir, and register sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We are privileged to have esteemed personalities from around the globe grace this occasion with us. We have among us Dr. Marty Chia, Associate Professor at Newcastle Business School, Australia. Dr. Marty Chia is a PhD from Monash University. He is also International Relations Director at Newcastle Business School. Let us extend a warm welcome to Dr. Marty Chia for a brief address.
Thank you for having me. So it is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to the conference, which is a 2024 International Conference on Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era. So this is actually my first time in India. So I feel the warm hospitality so far. Thank you all for making me feeling welcome in this country for the first time. So I hope that this won't be my last visit as well. So as introduced, my name is Madhicha. So I'm an associate professor of finance at Newcastle Business School, right, of the University of Newcastle. And at the same time, I also work on the director of international role, right? So I guess this is one of the reasons why our university wants to work with VITAP Uni. I hope to foster close collaborations with the uni. So at the same time, right, so because we are just starting this collaboration and partnerships together, so it is also my pleasure to briefly introduce you what the University of Newcastle is about. Right, so based on the most recent, we have over 30,000 students at the University of Newcastle. So we are a large public university. So we have 3 main campuses. So one in Newcastle, Australia itself, one in Sydney, and one more campus in Singapore. So in terms of our reputation and ranking, we are in the top 175 uni in the latest QS ranking of the world. And for internal ranking of research excellence, we are ranked number 8 in Australia. So among all Australian unis, we are ranked number 8 in terms of our research excellence, and in the world top 30 for impactful research. So going down to the business school. The business school, so Newcastle Business School provides a comprehensive majors and disciplines across Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Commerce, data analytics, entrepreneurship and innovation, as well as tourism. So we are strong and are known for our research teaching nexus in those 8 business disciplines. So some of our strengths in the business disciplines include marketing and finance, which are as part of the theme of the conference, right? So we are incorporating digitalization, right? So digital marketing and digital finance in those core disciplines as well. So we are also known and are strong in traditional business discipline, for example, accounting, economics. Our school has a double crown accreditation status, which is rare across many business schools. So we are actually accredited by AACSB and EQUIS. So this is known as the double crown status of accreditation. So we are trying. So one of our plans in the business school is that we are trying to go for the 3rd accreditation, making us one of the even rarest triple crown accreditation business school. So once again, thank you all for attending the conference and making me feel welcome here in India. So I look forward to joining the sessions, and please, if you see me, please come to say hi. So I look forward to talking to each and every one of you during the conference. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir. We have among us Ms. Jayashree Gopal, Partnership Manager, University of Newcastle. I request Ms. Jayashree to share her insights about the conference.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, and fellow participants. I would like to thank VIT-AP for this wonderful opportunity to collaborate with University of Newcastle. Many thanks to VC sir, Registrar sir, and Arun Kumar sir for making this happen. I still remember our recent conversations started with Sita Lakshmi ma'am and the VSB School of Business. So we started with collaborations with MOUs and articulations, but now I can see how it has paved its way to, an international conference and also MOUs for your BBAs and MBAs program. So it's my distinct pleasure and honor to address you all at 3rd Annual International Conference of the VIT-AP School of Business under the theme Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to VSB, University of Newcastle, and also International Institute of Better Future Australia for orchestrating this remarkable event, which serves as knowledge and collaboration in our rapidly evolving world. The diversity of expertise gathered here today, spanning academics, industry professionals, research scholars, and students, represents a rich tapestry of knowledge. Your contributions, whether through research papers, presentations, or discussions, are invaluable in advancing our comprehension and implementation of sustainable business practices in the digital era. Each of you plays a vital role, charting the course towards a more prosperous and equitable future. In pursuit of the sustainable business practices, it is essential that we adopt a holistic approach, one that integrates economic viability, environmental stewardship, and social responsibility. By embracing innovation as a catalyst for positive change, we always pave the way for a future where businesses thrive in harmony with planet and society at large. Let us seize this opportunity to collaborate, inspire, and transform our collaborative aspirations into realities. In conclusion, I extend my sincerest wishes and warm welcome to all the participants, and we are looking forward for fruitful deliberations, meaningful interactions, and long-lasting connections throughout this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it is time for us to hear from our respected registrar of the VITAP University. I invite Dr. Jagdish Chandra Mudiganti sir to address the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries joining online, faculty colleagues, deans, directors, students, a very good morning and then good evening to all of you. A very happy occasion to host the international conference organized by VITAP School of Business. A little bit about the VIT Vellore Institute of Technology. Vellore Institute of Technology as a main campus, it has started in Vellore, Tamil Nadu in 1984. And now it is a university of 45,000 students. And it has a campus in Chennai. And we have the universities established across 3 other states. One now in Amaravati, Andhra Pradesh. Another campus is in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. And one established very recently in Bangalore, Karnataka. So with all these campuses, we are a total of 80,000 strong students. And the university is reckoned as one of the most premier private institutions, the #1 private institution, engineering institution in India. Over here, 2017, the then government had invited the Vellore Institute of Technology to establish the campus here. And then we started the operations in July 2017. Now we are going to be 7 years old. We started with a student strength of approximately 600. And now we have reached 14,000 students from all the states of India, as well as 10 nations across the world. So we have a very diverse cosmopolitan environment, as the mandate was given to us to be partner in the development of the state. There was a capital planned over in this region, capital region for this state. And then we were one of the first institutions to have been invited to establish the campus. With this mandate, we have come over here. And in 2018, we started with 3 engineering programs. In 2018, we established the VITAP School of Business with the BBA program. Initially, the undergrad program. And in 2021, we had BCom Finance also introduced. The school is doing great strides in research, and then it is growing very young. And then it is trying to build on the experiences that we draw from our parent institution in Vellore. With this, I would also like to emphasize that with the vision of our Vice Chancellor, sir, to foster collaborations, this conference now being held in collaboration with the Newcastle University. And we would like to engage with all our partners in dialogue, building policy, and then changing public opinion on matters such as sustainability. We know that this is a very important topic. There can be artificial intelligence, for example, the disruptive technologies that we are seeing. It can be good in business and in science, but we also have to understand that there cannot be anything artificial about the nature. There cannot be an artificial air or water, And most of our urban places, which are the sources of the major business, are also getting bogged down. Like very recently, we have seen in Bangalore, which is a major IT hub for the country, where we had great scarcity of water, and probably will not be able to conduct ourselves anymore in the years down the lane. So it is a responsibility, and with the mandate of collaborating that was set here, that we have to collaborate and then build a policy. We are now joining with the Newcastle University. We are very much thankful to Dr. Madi Chia and then also Jayashree for joining us over here, and then the university collaborating with us. We have to build a policy on these issues, and then I think VITAP is very much poised, young university, and then very dynamic young faculty, and then students, very much energetic, learned people. We have to frame the policy as well as the opinion of the people on matters such as the sustainability. And as we have great opportunities, also there are great dangers awaiting in the conduct of our businesses. So we have to identify both of them and then set the tone for the future development. So with this, we would like to also congratulate our school, VITAP School of Business, Dean, Associate Dean, the conveners, and all the faculty members for coming together and then picking up such a wonderful topic, as well as bringing all of us over here to participate in this brainstorming sessions. We wish the next 2 days will definitely be very enriching to all the people, all the delegates who are joining us here and then online. And we wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is indeed an honor to have our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.P. Kota Reddy, sir, with us. Let us welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, S.P. Kota Reddy, sir, for the presidential address.
Good morning and good evening, everyone. Respected the chief guest, Mr. Paps Muppa, Design Recruiting, JP Morgan, Chase and Co., New Jersey, US. Dr. Gurpreet Singh, Director, South Asia, the University of Newcastle, Australia. Dr. Jayashree Gopal, Partnership Head, the University of Newcastle. Dr. Madi Chia, Associate Professor, Newcastle Business School, Australia. Registrar Dr. Jagadish Chandra Mudiganti. Dean Academic Research Dr. Ravindra Duli. Dean in Charge VSB Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar. Deans, Directors, distinguished guests, delegates from various countries and delegates from India, research scholars, faculty colleagues, and dear students. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this third annual international conference on the innovation and sustainable business practices in the digital era. This is the third conference. This conference is a special one because this conference is having two partners, international partners. One is the University of Newcastle, and the other one is the International Institute for Better Future, Australia. Two partners from Australia. I would like to congratulate the School of Business to bring such great partners for this international conference. Congratulations to each one of you. As our Dean Academic Research mentioned, that I insist always that all schools, when they are organizing international conferences, they should bring the international university partners. There is a meaning in that. When we are having the international university partners, the visibility of the conference will go up. That is one. and there will be mutual benefit to each other. The partner university will be benefited, and the host institution also, university also will be benefited. And this benefit is enormous. Why I am saying this, because the scholars, research scholars, faculty members from both the universities will have the benefit, particularly when we are going for the proceedings of the conference. The important journals will come forward to publish our papers, because the quality of conference also will go up. Then the quality of publications also will go up. And because of that, the publishers also will come forward to publish the papers in their reputed journals. That's what is happening in this conference. I'm very happy to say that the IUP, the Journal of Corporate Governance, it is in the list of ABDC. Then the papers which are going to publish here, the selected papers will come in that ABDC journal. Then similarly, RAUSP Management Journal, again it is Scopus indexed and Emerald Publishers. And Springer, the book series. This is the benefit. Your papers will get into these very eminent journals in the world. Therefore, it is very, very important to make use of this kind of conferences by our faculty members, research scholars, and students. It's a great opportunity. Then all the scholars who are present here, sitting here, should make attempt to present a paper in this conference. Not only the research scholars, students also. You will have a lot of benefits again. If you present a paper in this kind of conference, when you go for interview for the job, that time you will be given preference. Those who publish papers and present in the conferences, that means the either journal or in the conference, this kind of conference, then you will have more weightage for your placements or for your MBA higher studies. When you go for some very important universities, like the top-notch universities in the world, Stanford, okay, then what are Purdue University, such great universities, when you go, definitely they will give preference to you for in higher studies, for MBA program. Now, there a lot of benefits are there. Therefore, all of you should make use of these conferences. At VITAP University, all 7 schools, we have 7 schools, School of Business, the School of Computer Science and Engineering, the School of Electronics Engineering, School of Mechanical Engineering, then School of Law, the School of Advanced Sciences, and School of Social Science and Humanities. All these 7 schools are organizing international conferences. And all these schools are bringing the international university collaborators. Recently, this is actually the second conference in this last month and this month. 2 international conferences. One School of Law organized, and now School of Business is organizing. The School of Law also brought one international collaborator, the Birmingham University, UK. And today we have the collaborator, the University of Newcastle. And this way, our schools are organizing international conferences with the international university collaborators. With all these efforts, like we have the internal funding, we give the funding for research for the faculty members and research scholars, and we are getting the external funding. I'm very happy to inform you that this year we already touched almost 3 crores of funding in just 3 months' time. It's again big achievement. This is the external funding we received. Apart from the external funding, we are giving the funding to faculty members and research scholars and students to conduct the research. Then with all these efforts, conferences, then funding, and the projects which are going on in the campus, with all these efforts, our publications have gone up significantly. Okay, then in 2023, the calendar year, from January to December, our publications are 1,047, and total publications are 2,400. Out of 2,400, 1,047 publications alone came in 2023. It's a great achievement of all our faculty members. Now, coming to the publications per faculty. Okay, now, in 2022, the publications per faculty were 2.11. That means each faculty published 2.11 papers. In 2023, are there any guesses? How many publications per faculty? Yes, research scholars. Oh, 3. Okay, faculty members should not answer this. Okay, you're research scholar. Okay, okay. Then anyway, I think in the last speech she was there. I think. Okay, then 3 publications per faculty. It's a again achievement. Yes or no? What should we do? We should applaud. Yeah. Then, now I'm coming to the important one. In 2024, what should be the publications per faculty? Yes, in that speech, same conference I was mentioning this also. What should be our target? You forgot about that. Yes, you should not forget this, because the dream also should come to all research scholars. Okay, 4 publications per faculty. That means we need to have 2,000 publications in 2024. I was discussing with faculty member, then they said it is too high target. I said nothing is impossible, everything is possible. If we have will and wish, we can achieve this. Yes or no? All research scholars sitting here and all students also sitting here, please, and faculty members, please make sure that we reach 4 publications per faculty. Yes? Yeah, thank you very much. And the other thing is, university is doing extremely good. All of you are doing extremely good in the patent publications also. Now, another achievement in the patent publications is we crossed, recently I circulated. I think how many patents we have right now? Yes, just a few days back only I circulated to all faculty members, research scholars and students. Not faculty members don't answer this. Research scholars should answer this. How many patents we published and students? Yes? Anybody, any guesses? No. Huh? That means you are not seeing my emails. Please read all emails. I am taking so much pain to write all those emails. Yesterday night also at around 11:30 I sent one email. Yes or no? Yeah, these are all the achievements of our faculty members, research scholars and students. Therefore, you should admire. We crossed 500 patents in a short span of 6 years. It's the biggest achievement of, again, all our faculty members, research scholars and students. Again, what should we do? Now, having said that the 500 patents, we need to get into the commercialization of the patents. Then now we have started the technology transfer office, and we are working very hard on transferring some of these technologies to the industry. Definitely, when we put efforts, we will get the results. I'm sure that we will be able to transfer some of our good technologies to the industry. And we need help from all the faculty members, research scholars and students in those areas. Then please come forward and then help us in those areas. And we are actually encouraging the entrepreneurs to come forward and then start their businesses. And we have very good startups, and we have very good innovation and incubation facilities. And we are supporting all our the young entrepreneurs. Please come forward and make use of, take the advantage of these initiatives. Then with all the efforts, okay, whatever I mentioned, and VITAP University ranked #1 under emerging state private universities in the country in Outlook ranking in 2022 as well as in 2023. It's again one of the biggest achievements. And whatever I mentioned, whatever achievements I'm mentioning here, there is a great help from, great support from our management. On this occasion, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. G. Vishwanathan sir, our Vice Presidents, Sri Shankar Vishwanathan sir, Dr. Shekhar Vishwanathan sir, Dr. G.V. Selvam sir for their constant support and guidance for all these activities what we are doing in the university. Their support is immense. Then before I conclude, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our partners, the University of Newcastle and the International Institute of a Better Future Australia for their collaboration. Thank you very much for all your support. Then I would like to express, I would like to appreciate the efforts of our Dean in charge, VSB, Dr. Arun Kumar Shivkumar, and his entire team, the Associate Dean, Dr. Raghavendra, and the conveners for this conference, entire team, students, research scholars, and a big round of applause to all of you to make this successful. I'm sure that Dr. Arun Kumar will bring some more new partners in the next year's conference. Not one, and we need 3 more universities to collaborate and then have the conference. Okay, he can do it. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your encouragement and for your words of wisdom. Now, moving forward, our distinguished chief guest for today is Mr. Paps Mopa, who has graced this occasion virtually. Mr. Paps Mopa is based in the United States, is currently a design recruiter at JP Morgan Chase & Co. With a robust skill set that includes technical recruiting, talent acquisition, employee relations, and more. Paps Mopa contributes valuable insights to the industry. Let's welcome him with a thunderous round of applause as he addresses the gathering. We are pleased to hear from him through online mode. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good morning to all the participants and dignitaries of the 3rd annual international conference that is themed Innovation and Sustainable Business Practices in the Digital Era, conducted by VITAP School of Business. Greetings to Register Dr. Mudaganti Jagdish Chandra, Vice Chancellor Dr. S.V. Kodareddy, and esteemed guests and co-speakers of this event. I'm honored and humbled to be the chief guest of this conference. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm wishing this conference a great success. I also commend the VIT School, AP, School of Business, and in collaboration with the University of Newcastle, Australia, and the International Institute of Better Future Australia for organizing this significant event. By fostering such collaborative efforts, we reinforce the importance of international cooperation in addressing complex challenges and driving positive change. As I've been introduced, I am Paps Mopa, a member of the Digital Global Talent Acquisition team of JP Morgan & Chase, working out of the Jersey City office, New Jersey. I predominantly support the design talent acquisition for line of businesses like community and consumer banking, asset and wealth management, commercial and investment banking, and corporate sector. I'm also very confident that this conference will spark enlightening conversations, inspire groundbreaking ideas, and foster meaningful connections that will propel us towards a brighter and more sustainable future. I extend my best wishes for a fruitful and rewarding conference experience to all the attendees. In today's evolving global landscape, innovation and sustainability have become indispensable pillars for businesses to strive and thrive in the digital era. As Dr. Mudaganti Jagdish Chandra rightly mentioned, innovation with policy and also with risk management built into it can definitely see sustainability. That's my view. Let me take you through a few examples of successes and failures. Innovation towards digital transformation of Netflix made it a $149 billion company because of its ability to anticipate the future and willingness to transform. Adobe's innovation towards digital transformation happened as it redefined itself from a software company to a company that offers software as a service. This actually allowed them to gain substantial competitive advantage through digital transformation and also by defining employee-focused culture. That is, investing in people who work for you and ensure that the organizational change affects everyone in it. Take the case of Amazon. Its innovation reinvented the retail market with automation as they harnessed customer analytics and used AI-driven recommendations to revolutionize shopping experience. Their warehouses optimize supply chain optimization, which was only possible by automation. This redefined the retailer's convenience, enhanced the speed, and changed entirely how we shop. Take the case of Airbnb. They disrupted the hospitality industry with innovation called sharing economy platform by using user reviews and ensuring transparency via a secure payment system. This rewrote the rules of hospitality. These are some of the successes. We can also learn from failures of various companies. Kodak, it failed to disrupt its own business model of traditional film and move into digital photography and miss the opportunity to be continuously successful. Blockbuster, which was a giant in retail movie market, failed to embrace new technology and neglected customer preferences, leading to their fall. Same case of Netflix, which is, of course, definitely a successful company, had to scrap its Quickster program, which was a DVD program. And this deviated from being customer-centric and also was not simple. It was very complex. That's why they had to scrap it. Take the case of Wells Fargo. At the expense of ethics and customers' trust, they used innovation and digital transformation to create unauthorized accounts, paid billions in fines. Take the case of Equifax. Their data breach was due to a lack of software update. So here, security becomes paramount. So what we can learn from innovation and also to be able to sustain is to be able to anticipate the future and have the willingness to transform. And also invest in the people who work for you and ensure that the organizational change affects everyone in it. Understand the customer analytics, collect the user reviews, and also be open towards automation. This is something which are some of the formulas of successes. And of course, if you do not change your own business model, if you're not prepared to change, or if you're not prepared to innovate, you'll be left behind. You got to embrace new technology, and you have to be customer-centric and also emphasize that customers' trust is not lost and we stay ethical. Let me also reiterate, innovation in digital era offers and brings an array of benefits across various aspects within business operations and within customer interactions. The benefits are enhanced efficiency, improved customer service, increased agility, data-driven marketing, decision-making, innovation opportunities, scalability and growth, enhanced collaboration, improved security measures. Definitely, these are some of the areas which will be able to get better as we get into more innovation and look towards being sustainable by having risk involved into innovation, calculating the risk, and also making sure the policy is also aiding towards it to ensure that it is accepted worldwide and it is not taken into a wrong direction. Once again, I am reiterating my own words. Innovation with risk management built into it can definitely see sustainability. Overall, digital transformation yields substantial benefits, enabling organizations to evolve, remain competitive, and thrive in an increasingly digital-centric world. With that, I would again like to extend my best wishes for a fruitful and rewarding conference experience to all the attendees and the participants. And once again, thank you for inviting me. I'm really honored. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now, a significant milestone in our journey towards fostering innovation and sustainable business practices is the release of conference proceedings. For this, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.P. Kodareddy, sir, our respected Registrar, Dr. Jagadish Chandra Modiganti, sir, our guest of honors, Dr. Madi Chia, Associate Professor, Newcastle Business School, Ms. Jayashree Gopal, Partnerships Manager, University of Newcastle, and Dr. Arun Kumar, sir, Dean in Charge, School of VITAP School of Business, to release the conference proceedings. Please give them a round of applause as they release the conference proceedings. Thank you, all of you. Now I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.P. Kodareddy, sir, and Registrar, sir, to felicitate Dr. Madi Chia, Associate Professor, Newcastle Business School, as a token of gratitude. Bigger round of applause. Thank you, sir. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, and Registrar, sir, to felicitate Ms. Jayashree Gopal for gracing the occasion with her presence. Please give a round of applause. Thank you, sir. I request our Vice Chancellor, sir, and Registrar, sir, to felicitate Mr. Paps Mopa, which will be received by Aditya Mopa, sir. I request Aditya Mopa, sir, to please get on the dais. Give a big applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you. As we near the culmination of this event, it is time to express our gratitude to all those who have contributed to the conference. For this, I request Dr. Sita Lakshmi, convener of the conference, to deliver vote of thanks.
Good morning. So respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, a very good morning and pleasant morning to you all. So I am so honored to extend my sincere gratitude to all who have made this event a grand success. First and foremost, I express my deepest gratitude to our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. G. Vishwanathan sir, and all the vice presidents for their unwavering support. Thank you all, sirs. I extend heartfelt thanks to our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.V. Kotareddy sir, and the respected Registrar, Dr. Jagadish Chandra Mudiganti sir, for their immense guidance and support throughout this journey. They inspired us to work with the dedication to a cause and has been instrumental in our achievements. And their guidance has always been invaluable in shaping their confidence into the success that it has become now. So thank you so much, sirs. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Arun Kumar Shivakumar sir, our Dean in charge, for this pivotal role in granting us the opportunity to organize this conference. His encouragement and vision always has been a catalyst for our endeavors. Thank you, sir. Our special thanks to go to Dr. Raghavendra sir, Associate Dean and Professor, for his invaluable assistance and ensuring the smooth execution for all the necessary procedures. Thank you, sir. Our gratitude extends across the borders to the Newcastle Business School, Australia, whose collaboration has significantly enriched the value of this conference. We are immensely grateful for their partnership and contribution. A heartfelt thank to our distinguished guest, especially Mr. Paps Mupa, Design Recruiting, JB Morgan Case and Company, New Jersey, United States, for gracing us with his presence virtually during this inauguration ceremony. Thank you, sir. A special mention and a thanks to our Professor Madi Chia, Associate Professor, Newcastle Business School, Australia, Dr. Gurupreet Singh, Associate Director, South Asia, the University of Newcastle, Ms. Jayashree Gopal, Partnership Manager, the University of Newcastle, Australia. So, we are very much honored to receive your collaboration, and we are very much happy to collaborate with you for this event. Thank you so much, professors. I thank all the deans of the various schools and the directors for your valuable presence to this event. Thank you, sir. And I'm much more emotional if I am saying about my team, because Dr. Madhusmita ma'am, Dr. Asrar, and Dr. Suhail, they were the unwavering support to me all the times, and we had a very turbulent times, and we were so many challenges that we had when we were organizing the conference from the day one. So they were the supporters for me to take this ahead. Thank you so much, my team. So a heartfelt thank to all my VSB colleagues who has always been a support, and the logistics assistance, then the stage decoration, social media, then the guest accommodation. For all these things, you have extended us a very great support. Thank you all so much. And I missed to mention my sincere thanks to Professor Umakant Nanda sir, Dean, the School of Sense, for his valuable guidance at the initial stages. So only myself and Suhail sir, Madhusmita ma'am, we went to the Sense department. We had taken an insight from the Sense Dean, and then we started our conference. So my acknowledgement to my Dean of Sense. So a special mention to all our research scholars, our beloved research scholars, and my dear students. And a special mention to our secretary, Joshna. Joshna, madam. So who have readily extended their support in enriching this conference. Thank you so much. I extend my gratitude to our sponsors, Global Degree, and our publication partners, IBF, RAUSP Journal, and IUP for their generous support. Finally, I express my gratitude to all the participants who have contributed their time, expertise, and the enthusiasm to make this conference a resounding success. Your presence has truly enriched to our collective experience. Thank you so much. And in closing, I extend my warm wishes to all the continued support and the success, and we look forward for the future collaborations. Thank you once again for the unwavering support and the dedications. And please pardon me if I have missed anyone in my list. Thank you so much for everyone who have supported us for this grand success. Thank you.
I would once again extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for gracing this occasion with your presence. Let's make this conference a memorable and enriching experience for all. Now it is time for us to enjoy some tea and snacks. And we will, our next session starts at 11:30 a.m. with a keynote speech of Dr. Madi Chia, followed by Ms. Jayashree Gopal. Please join us for these sessions on time. Thank you. Please join us for tea and snacks.
Hello, students. Kuchandi. People at the back, please come to the front row, please. Hello, hello, girls, BBA girls, where are you going? Boss, call them. No coming. Babu. BBA Babu. Sit down, Kuchandi. Shelly Garu, Kuchandi. Sit. Professors over there, can you please come and sit for a while? Dr. Gopal, can you come and occupy the first seat, please? Dr. Raghavendra and Usha, can you please occupy the first seat, please? Please. No. You should. Yeah. Take your seat, please. Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, please occupy your seats. People at the back, come to the front, please. Yes. Can you call Dr. Mas? Cheryl, where is Mas? Mas. Call na. Dr. Mas? Sir. Can we start? Yes, we are starting.
Can we start? May I have your attention, please? Please settle down. A very good morning and welcome back to the session. Before we start our technical sessions, we are very honored to have Dr. Mardi Chia, Associate Professor, Newcastle Business School, University of Newcastle, Australia. Dr. Mardi Chia is PhD from Monash University, and we are very honored to have you here, sir, for the keynote address today. So please welcome Dr. Mardi Chia for the keynote address. Please give a round of applause for sir. Give a big applause. Over to you, sir. Please listen to sir's words very carefully. It will be very useful for you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, still waiting to look myself. That's my backup for my phone. Yeah. Yep, sure. No problem. No, it's okay. I'm happy to stand. Right. Yeah. All good. Okay, so thank you for again having me at this conference. So I do have some slides that's going to talk about a bit about myself and some of the tips in relation to my own research. So hopefully this will be engaging and useful practice for every one of you here. So a bit about myself. So I'm an associate professor of finance at University of Newcastle in Australia. So I just joined University of Newcastle last year. Right, so this is my second year at the University of Newcastle. So recently, I'm also the director of international in the business school. Right, and since last year, so I also work at a different portfolio, which is academic director of our Newcastle tax clinic. So under the tax clinic, we do provide free tax advices, as a free tax advices to disadvantaged taxpayers. So one of the biggest clienteles of the tax clinic is actually international students. Right, so when they get to a new country, right, so the tax system is different. Right, so one of the roles or one of the purposes of the tax clinic is to help international students to get used to the tax system in Australia. So before moving to Newcastle, I was at Swinburne University of Technology, which is in Melbourne, from 2017 to 2022. Right, and as introduced earlier, so I have a PhD in finance from Monash University, also in Melbourne. So next slide, please. So now about my own research area. So my training and background is finance. So this is why if you do have a chance to look at what I've published so far, so it's predominantly about finance. Right, so more particularly, right, so my core research area is in empirical asset pricing. Right, so in this research area, right, so I investigate the drivers behind the cross-section of stock returns. So why do some stocks generate higher stock returns, and why do some stocks generate lower returns? Right, so there must be a reason behind it. Right, so in the past, the typical reason that's used to explain the cross-section of stock returns is a risk-based explanation, whereby in finance, so I'm not sure how many of you here are in finance. So in finance, we do believe in a high-risk, high-return relationship, right? So this could be the reason why, right? So some stocks have a high returns and low returns. Another reason is behavioral, right? So some stocks, stocks generate cross-sectional difference in stock return, maybe because they are mispriced. So in this case, stocks that generate low returns are believed to be overpriced, whereas stocks that generate high returns are believed to be underpriced. Right, and so I might be too close. So at the same time, I also work on behavioral finance a lot, especially about trading behaviors. So I'm not sure about the Indian stock market, but in Australia, for example, during COVID, everyone started trading. Right, so I have some papers published about trading behaviors of retail investors during COVID-19. Right, so where on the graph it shows that trading volume spiked substantially during COVID. Right, and part of my research in this area also look at why people trade. Right, so do they trade rationally or not rationally, and whether their trades are profitable or not. And guess what? What I find is that most retail trades are not profitable. Right, so that's unfortunate, which is also in line with market efficiency. The more we trade, the more likely we are going to lose money, apparently. And so my other broad research area is roughly in the intersection of accounting and finance, which is capital market research. So I look at, for example, market reactions to corporate events. I look at funds management. I look at banking. I look at default risk analysis, etc. Right. So you can pretty much tell that all these areas are largely still in finance. So in line with the theme of this conference, right, so in finance and other business discipline, right, so there's huge interest about the recent advancement or recent trend across the business. For example, the use of fintech, machine learning, right, so in particular, and also sustainability or sustainable investment. Right, so in finance, this is more likely to be known as ESG investment. So fortunately, I did publish some papers in those two areas as well. So the first paper that's indicated on the slide, so it's about photo sentiment and stock returns around the world. Right, so the machine learning aspect of this paper is about deriving investor sentiment based on photo. Right, so based on news photo. Right, so I did find that this sentiment derived from photos using machine learning technique have predictive power on stock returns and trading volume subsequently. And the second paper on the slide is about ESG investment. So I look at in the ESG investment across a large cross-section of countries. From memory, is about 59, so 59 countries. So I look at the performance of ESG investment during good economic periods and bad economic periods. So those two papers are all in ABDC rank A or Q1, so Q1 journals. Right, so it actually shows that if you do, right, so if you do align with recent trends, right, so it's possible, right, so it's possible to get published in high quality journal articles. Next slide, please. So I guess next I'm going to try to give some of my research tips based on my publication experience. So far I've published over 20, right, so over 20 publications in Q1 or A/A-star rank journal articles. To be specific, last I counted is 25. So I published 25 articles all in A or A-star journal articles. Right, so this is why I'm happy, or I would like to share some of my experience on how to publish in high quality journals. Right, so this is from my experience so far. So to summarize it, right, so if I actually put it in one punchline, right, so in order to get published in high quality journals, right, so there must be some novelty or originality, either in the idea, right, so your idea must be novel, or your data, right, so your data could be novel, or lastly, your method, right, so the method that is used in your estimation could be novel or original. Right, so I'm going to talk about each of the novelty aspects in the coming slides. Next slide, please. So in relation to originality or novelty in idea, right, so it's the key, right, so this is actually the foundation of a paper, right, so it is really important to choose or do research in a relevant topic. Right, so your topic, right, so your own research topic must be topical, and the key papers that you cited, right, so the key papers that you rely most upon in your own journal manuscript, right, so it should be in top journals in your own discipline. Right, so all published over the last 3 years. So I'm using my own finance discipline as an example. So in finance, so for those of you who are in finance, you would know that the top three, so the top three finance journals are Journal of Finance, Review of Financial Studies, and Journal of Financial Economics. Right, so this actually means that if you have a new idea, right, so if you have a new idea in your research, it should be aligned, right, so it should be aligned with recent journal articles published in those top journals. Right, and once you have a research idea that you are thinking about to do, right, so it is really important for you to conduct a thorough, right, so a thorough literature review in order to identify research gaps. Right, so what is really important, or I should say, I've done a lot of journal reviews as well. So many papers, the way that they motivate their study is say that I'm doing this study because it hasn't been done before. This itself is actually not a good enough reason. So no one has done it before should be the necessary condition, but it may not be sufficient. Right, so this is why it is important to make sure that your research should be interesting by itself, not simply because no one has done it before. Right. And it is also important to also develop clear research questions and hypotheses. Again, this could be different across business disciplines. So in management or accounting, for example, it is common to have a lead review section followed by hypothesis development. Right, so where you're going to state your hypothesis. In some other disciplines, for example, finance or economics, it might be less likely to have hypothesis whereby everything is mentioned or indicated in the introduction. Right, so this is why it's important for you to align with what's been done in your discipline. Right, so if you're in accounting, most likely you'll need hypothesis development, or if you're in finance, right, so most likely everything, including the research questions, will be stated in the introduction without the lead review section. Okay, so in this aspect as well, right? So your research questions, right? So or hypothesis, it must be specific, right? So you shouldn't have a research question or hypothesis that try to address two or more questions at the same time. Right, so for example, right, so it is a good practice for a research question to only have one key dependent variable and one key independent variable. Right, so this is how a good specific focused research question should be structured. Okay, and idea. So in relation to whether your idea is interesting and useful itself, right? So the contribution to the literature will be key, right? So it is important for you to highlight how your research contributes, so how your research contribute to existing literature from an academic perspective. So how will other researchers benefit from the finding of your research? From a practice perspective, so how would industry practitioners benefit from the main findings of your paper? And lastly, whether there's any policy implications from your journal manuscript. Next slide, please. So next, I'm going to talk about some aspects to create novelty or originality in your data. Right, so again, right, so this will be different across the business disciplines. In finance, for example, it is common to use high quality. It is important to use high quality data across all disciplines. And in the finance area, secondary or archival data is probably more common. Right, so for example, if you study about stock returns in the United States, you'll probably use CRISP, so CRSP, for stock return data, and you'll probably use CompuStat for accounting-related data for US-based studies. So if you have an international study, right, so probably you have heard about the database called DataStream. Right, so DataStream has stock return and accounting information coverage for all international markets, including India or Australia. Right, so those will be the common data, secondary database used by finance researchers. Right, so in some cases, right, so novelty in your data might actually be because, right, so it might be because you have access to a proprietary data that no other people have access to. Right, so if this is the case, it means that there's probably, right, so there's probably some novelty or originality in the data because you are using data that no one has used before in order to address a research question that was unable to be addressed in the past because of data limitation. Right, so as I've mentioned, right, so this could be a new underutilized secondary database. Right, so one example that's in my own research is I mentioned earlier that I do a lot about trading behaviors of retail versus institutional investors. So due to data limitation in the United States, right, so it's not possible to have trade level data for retail investors on a daily frequency, but this data, right, so this data is actually available in the Australian market. Right, so this could be the unique contribution of your finding or of your research paper, I should say. Right, so if you do plan to collect primary data by yourself, this could be another unique aspect. Right, so for example, right, so currently I'm working on the manual hand collection of non-GAAP reporting in the US. So GAAP is an accounting standard, so generally accepted accounting principle, right? So this is something that all public firms have to follow in the United States. But in recent trends, more and more firms in the US, they disclose earnings that is not based on this standard, right? So we call this non-GAAP reporting. Right, so I'm looking at whether I'm looking to collect this data of non-GAAP reporting in order to see whether it is perceived differently by the capital market. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so once you have a good, interesting research idea and you have the data, right? So next, it is important to think about the execution or the method, right? So what method or what research design do you use in order to execute your research question? Right. So it is really important for us to choose appropriate method that can answer your research question or hypothesis. Right, so again, this will be different across the business disciplines. Finance is pretty much a quantitative dominant discipline. So this actually means that if you are a finance researcher, you'll probably rely on quantitative analysis, economic modeling, and to some extent, experimental design, so experimental research design. Right, so in most cases, right, so if you are running an experiment, you'll be a quasi, so a semi-experiment. Right, so one example that I've listed here is my paper published in 2022 about lockdown and retail trading in the equity market. So in this case, the experiment that I conducted is that I'm using COVID-19 as an external shock in order to see how retail investors actually change their trading behavior due to this external shock of COVID-19. Right, so if you have this sort of study, right, so it means that you're using a semi or quasi experiment. So in recent years, right, so if you want to get published in top journal articles, A or A star, right, so referees and editors, they ask for a lot of robustness checks. Right, so this actually means that you might have 5 or 6 tables originally in your research paper, but your final version could be more than 10 tables because the referees and the editors, they might ask you to do those additional tests. Right, so to make sure that your result is robust. So in order to avoid this and to make your paper more likely to be received positively by the referee or editor, right, so maybe you should be thinking about those additional analyses and trying to do those analyses yourself in the first version. Right. So it is important to conduct thorough and rigorous analysis, especially if you want to publish in a star journal. Right. So robustness checks will be really important because if you don't do any robustness check, the referees and the editors will be really skeptical about your findings. Right. So they might think that your main findings is just due to a specific choice of method that is not likely to stand if you verify. Right, so if you actually change the method. So I've had example indicated on the slide. For example, will your main finding change if you change your regression approach? For example, if you have fixed effect versus no fixed effect, will your main finding change? So if your main finding change, right, so it means that referees, right, so are unlikely to be convinced that your results are good enough or are robust enough. And another example is, let's say, if you run a panel regression versus a pool regression. So again, if your finding change, it means that your main result is probably not robust enough. And one other example is a variable definition. Right, so what usually happens is, as I've mentioned earlier, right, so you would typically have a key dependent variable and you would have a key independent variable. Of course, you need to know how to measure and define them. Right. So it is also really common for you to have 2 or more measures for the same dependent or for the same key independent variables in order to make sure that your results are robust. Right, so this is why you can actually see that papers now, they are getting longer. Right, so they are getting longer because, because of all those additional robustness checks that are requested. Right. So what is really common now is that if you read a paper in a journal, let's say a Journal of Banking and Finance, which is a A-star ranked journal, as you can actually see that the main paper itself might be 25 pages only, but if you click the supplementary information, there could be another 30 to 40 pages of additional analysis conducted in the supplementary information. Right, so this is how this is a standard that is expected in top tier publication right now. Right, so the main paper itself might be quite short, but there are a lot of additional analysis that are in the online appendix, in the supplementary section of the paper online. Okay, so the next point about the method is some of us might have a presumption or assumption about the drivers behind our main findings. So using the example of my own research, so if I do find that some stocks generate high or low returns, right, so as a traditional finance researcher, my first impression would be this must be due to risks. Right, so the high risk and high return relationship should hold. Right. But by having this presumption, I'm actually ignoring other possible explanations, which is not good in a way, because because in top tier publications right now, referees or editors will ask you to do tests. So they'll actually ask you to do tests that consider alternative explanations for your main findings. Right, so in many cases, as I indicated, there will be more than one possible explanation for the same set of findings. Right, so this is why, it is really important for us to explore all those possible findings or mechanisms and conduct and design tests that are able, to test all these alternative explanations. Right, so it could be the case that there are two or more explanations for your main findings, which is fine. Right, so this is then what you will conclude. Right, so my findings is A because there are two potential explanations for the finding, and both play a similar role or both play some roles in explaining the main findings. This is fine. Right, so you don't need to rule out and only have one explanation. Right, so having more than one explanation is fine if this is what you find in your main findings. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so other considerations. So we work as a faculty, right? So this is why, so once you have created a draft based on, so your research idea, your method, and your data, right? So it is probably important for you to ask for feedback. So this is what I do at Newcastle, for example. So as an associate professor over there, I do mentor. Right, so I do mentor some of my junior staff who are lecturer or senior lecturer. Right, so they do come to me for feedback. Right, so which I'm happy to provide. So in this case, for example, at VITAP, right, so it could be the case that you might be asking for feedback from your colleagues that work in the similar area, or you might have a mentor here that you can ask, or your peers from other institutions. Right, so sometimes you actually find that getting a fresh pair of eyes might be useful, because if you work on a research paper, right, so you might have spent over the last 6 months on it by yourself, right, so you might be fixated, right, so you might be so stuck on your own belief or assumption that you are not willing to consider other perspectives. Right, so this is why seeking feedback in this case would be helpful, so that they are able to think of additional perspectives that might help to further improve the paper. So I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this website called pitchingresearch.com. So pitchingresearch.com. Right, so this website actually have a research template, as a research template, pitching template, I should say, right, so that you can create in order to show your colleagues for them to give you some feedback on whether this research is good or bad. Right, so if you click on that website, it's going to show you the key important elements of a good research. Right, so for example, a good research should have a good novel idea, which is what I've mentioned. It should have a coherence, right? So it should be coherent from the idea to the research questions, to the hypothesis, and to the method and the research design. Right, so if you go to that website, you'll be able to see, right, so what elements are there for a research to be successful. So another consideration that you might want to think about, or that I get asked a lot, is what journals should I choose? Right, so I get asked this a lot as well by some of the more junior staff in my business school. Right, so what I would say is that journal target, it should be sufficiently ambitious. So this actually means that you must try. So if you want to aim for quality research, which is what we are all trying to do, you must aim high originally. Right, so what I'll do is that after I wrote a paper myself, I probably have a realistic target of what I think this paper should ended up in. Right, so for example, right, so if I think that a paper would probably end up in an A rank journal, I'll actually aim for one step in advance. So I'll actually aim for A* first. So this is what I try to do. So I actually aim for one level higher compared to what I think it should end up. Right, so what happens here is that even if you are rejected, for example, by an A* journal, you will still get some good feedback. Right, so you still get some good feedback from the referees that will help you to substantially improve the paper when you submit for A rank. Right, so this makes your paper more likely to end up in the realistic target that you think it should end up with. Right, and your journal target should be guided by your key papers as well. Right, so of course, right, so if you see that most of your key papers are in the accounting discipline, for example, it means that you should aim for accounting journals. Right, so if your key papers is in management, right, so probably this is where you should submit to. Right, so the reason behind this is because if you submit to a journal, right, so the editor will actually look at your reference. So if you don't cite any of that journal's papers, they might think that your paper is out of scope. Right. Okay, and in terms of the submission, right, so all the journals, all journals have their own submission guidelines that they have on the website. Right, so it will be different across journals. So it is very important for you to read carefully about the journal guidelines in relation to the presentation, and also I guess there's the table structure and the referencing style, etc. So I've reviewed some papers that I think the ideas are great, but the results are so poorly presented. Right, so this is why it is really important for you to present your results clearly, either using table, charts, and graph. And it is important for you, for me in finance as a quantitative researcher. Right, so you need to have a reasonable decimal place. Right, so for example, don't have 10 decimal places in your table presentation because it makes the presentation so ugly. Right, so what usually happens is that you should have the least amount of decimal place that will make your results meaningful. Right, so in my cases, usually it will be 2 to 4. Right, so you can actually see that reducing the decimal places when you present your result will make it much easier to understand. Okay, so last but not least, Right, so again, you might have a really good research idea and your execution is fantastic. Right. Ultimately, you need to write up the paper. Writing skill is really key. Right, so it is really, really important for you to write at a high quality academic standard because papers, right, so good papers will get rejected if it is not written well. Right. So, of course, all the sections need to have good writing. Right? So all the sections from the introduction to the conclusion, it needs to be written well. But if you submit your paper to a journal, the first things that editors and referees will read is your abstract and your introduction. So this actually means that if you have different in quality in terms of your writing, probably you should actually spend the most attention on writing your abstract and your introduction because referees and editors will form opinion after just reading those two sessions. Right, so I can tell you that this is what I do myself. Right, so when I've been asked to review for A or A-star journal article, I will actually read the abstract and introduction and form my opinion already. If I think that the paper is interesting and could be publishable, I'll then proceed to read the body, so the data and the result section, to see whether the paper is as good as what is being claimed by the abstract and introduction. Right, so this is why if you have to focus your research writing quality, make sure that you have a really good abstract and introduction. Right, so this will be really key. Okay, so I think that's all for my slides. Can you go to the next slide to confirm? Right, thank you for having me again. I hope that this is useful and I'm happy to talk more. I do understand that this could be different across business disciplines, right? I'm happy to talk more about you individually if you are interested yourself, I guess. Right, thank you so much. Right.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights on paper publications and how the presentation of paper should be. It is very much useful for me as well as all the scholars present here. Thank you so much, sir. We'll definitely interact with you individually and gain more insights. Now I welcome Ms. Jayashree Gopal to share her insights about the conference, and she has something others to share as well, which will be very useful for our students. And because they are our collaborating partners, please listen to her very carefully. And her insights will be very useful for all of you for your future studies as well as your placements. Welcome, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Maddie, for a wonderful presentation and your valuable insights. Now that I wanted to break this ice, how many of you are interested in studying in Australia? Only few. Be it undergrad, postgrad, PhDs. Yeah. Definitely. So I had my own keynote speech, which was aligned to the presentation, but I think most of it Maddie has already covered. I'm going to talk about studying abroad, studying in Australia, studying in University of Newcastle. What are the benefits that you're going to get, out of this 10-minute speech? So I'm Jayashree Gopal, Partnerships Manager for University of Newcastle, Australia. And I'm with this university for more than 8 months now. So all my expertise was with UK, Ireland, US, Canada, Finland, Sweden, and now I've moved to Australia to this beautiful university called University of Newcastle. So Newcastle is a regional city. So we are in New South Wales, right? So from Sydney, it is 1 hour, 30 minutes drive. So it is like your airport to VITAP distance. 1 hour 15 minutes, and it's a very beautiful ride. And Newcastle is a regional university where you can get extra post-study work rights of up to 3 to 4 years, depending upon the programs. And since this is the only university in Newcastle, students will get very good part-time job opportunities, full-time job opportunities, and also your salary will be massive. Do you guys have any idea how much a Bachelor of Business Administrative graduate will get in Australia? No? Okay. Any of you over there, do you guys have any idea? What would be the starting salary for an undergrad student in Australia? I mean, once you finish your undergrad in Australia? What is the starting salary here in India? Just a rough, a ballpark figure. How much? Sorry? How much? 30. Oh, fantastic. That is the maximum that you are aiming for. So I started with 3,000 rupees as my first salary. It was in 2010. So any undergrad salary here in India would start from 15,000 to 20,000. So that is the base salary. But in Australia, we are looking at, especially New South Wales and Newcastle, we are looking at 86,500 Australian dollars. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Maddie. And it can go up to 1 lakh Australian dollars as well. So we are talking about 45 lakh package, 38 to 45 lakh package. So end of the day, you should look at your return on investment, because studies abroad is a very big decision. And if you choose that, you should choose the right destination, right university, and also you should look into your return on investment. The amount that you're going to pay, you have to get that back. That is the ultimatum, right? And for postgrad student, I'm talking about business graduates for finance, accounting, data analytics, business analytics. For all these programs, you can expect a minimum of 1,15,000 Australian dollars, and it can go up to 1,65,000 Australian dollars also. And this is the basic salary that I'm talking about, and it can go up based on your expertise, experience, the kind of internships that you have done in your bachelor's here, and also attending in conferences like this, international conferences. All these are going to make an additional value to your profile. And apart from that, University of Newcastle's business school, we have an excellent program for international students. And now that we are going to collaborate with VITAP, VSB Business School, so we are looking at different type of articulations for your BBA programs, and also for your finance, for your business analytics, data analytics, MBA programs and such. And we can also look into immediate, recruitment articulation also, that I was talking to Arun sir and Dr. Navneet Krishnan. So those, I mean, all these students, are you in your final years or second years? Second years. First years, okay. Then we can talk about 2+2 articulation. So we are looking at 2+2 or a 2+3. 2+3 is for those who are looking for bachelor's and master's. So 2 years you will be studying in VSB, and 1 year in Newcastle as an undergrad student, and another 2 years as a postgrad student. So probably you will be getting that 2 years of extended post-study work rights, 3 years of extended post-study work rights, and you will get as the same salary of other students. And talking about placements, so since Newcastle is a regional city, we have a lot of companies who are looking for international students. And if you look at part-time jobs also, there is a student services inside our university which can help you with your part-time jobs, internship. And our internship is integrated within your program itself. We call it as WIL, Work Integrated Learning, which means the kind of subjects that you're studying in your first year or second year, you have to apply that skill. The things that you have studied in your projects or your subjects, you have to apply that in your internship companies as well. And there is a chance of 90 to 93% of our students are being observed by the same intern companies, because these people know the kind of work culture the companies has, and you know the system well. And apart from that, we have around 3,000 plus employer connections. They come to our campus, they visit our campus, they have a similar, employment expo where you can go start meeting to the employers. I'm sure even in VIT you will have good placement options and everything, but meeting the employers from day one is very important to understand where your particular program is aligning in the industry. and what are the job placements that you're expecting, you know, in the upcoming years. And also you can understand the kind of salaries that you might get. And also, as Maddie mentioned, University of Newcastle is ranked top 175 in the world. And for certain programs, we are top ranked for nursing, for sports science, for material science and engineering. All our business school programs are ranked top 150 in the world. And we are accredited by ACISD and ICISD, which is the topmost accreditation for any business school. And also we are accredited by AMI, Australian Marketing Institute, CPA, Australia and New Zealand. So all these accreditations are going to be a, you know, a diamond to your crown. So end of the day, from this conference, of course, apart from the theme and everything, you should also look into your future. You know, now you are in your first year, and all these 3 years will go just like that. So always make sure you have plans, be it studying here or studying abroad. Have plans, implement towards it, and there are certain documents that you should always, you know, consider while applying abroad. Like how you have preferences, even universities will have preferences. We would also want excellent profiles to get into a university. So we look at SOPs, statement of purpose. To any country you go, we need to see your SOP. Why do you want to study in that particular country, that particular course? And the first question any university might ask is, you have a similar program here in India, why do you want to do abroad? So you should have a very good rationale behind it. And Australia being a very scrutinized destination when it comes to applications and visas, so we should have a clear picture on mind before we even, you know, start your preparation. And apart from SOP, you should also have a very good recommendation letter from your dean or HODs or your favorite teacher, because end of the day your scholarship is purely based on your recommendation. So behave nicely and get your scholarships on time. And even when I talk about scholarships, especially University of Newcastle, apart from, there are over 41 universities in Australia. Out of 41 universities, Newcastle scholarships are always higher. We are talking about 35% scholarship, from your overall tuition fees. It can go up to 14,500, which is up to 40% also based on the student's academic profile. Accreditations I've spoken about, scholarships. Fees would range between 36,000 to 38,000 Australian dollars. And imagine that you get a 14,500 Australian dollars as scholarship, which is very good 8 lakhs, 8.5 lakhs from your, mark sheets. Visa part I have covered. I think that's it. So if you have any questions on studying abroad, studying in Australia, studying in Newcastle, we are always here. You can come to us, talk to us, understand the procedures. And we are also looking at joint research collaborations, joint PhD collaboration, postdoc collaboration. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And we are really working towards that articulation, and it should be done within another 1 or 2 months. And we really forward to, welcoming you all at Newcastle very soon. And we are going to open that arena to explore that opportunity. And thank you so much. It is an honor and pleasure to meet you all today. And, University of Newcastle is more honored to work collaboratively with VITAP and VSB. Thank you, Arun Kumar sir, for your wonderful support as always. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And it was quite insightful. And I hope it was very useful for students. You can utilize opportunities. Yes, any questions? Students? Anyone has any questions, any queries?
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights and for your valuable information. This is Ahmed. I'm from Syria, actually. I'm doing my PhD scholarship under the guidance of Dr. Arun sir in VSB department. So I would like to ask one question. Me as an international student, I would like to ask if these opportunities are available even for international people, not only for Indian country. So yeah, and I am asking especially for PhD.
Of course, you have a lot of opportunities for international students as well. So just meet us when we are done with this and we'll introduce you to the concerned people and you can go ahead. So opportunities are open for everybody, for all international students, not only from India. Yeah. Please ask questions because I've completed my engineering, bachelor's, master's, pursuing PhD. But when I was studying my bachelor's BE electronics and communication, I never got this opportunity, guys. So please make use of this opportunity. I never knew that there is an option of studying abroad, you know, when I was in 2006. So now everything you have in hand in front of you, you just have to pick it. So make use of this opportunity. And even if you want to ask questions separately also, we are available. So once the session is over, you can come and talk to us.
Appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
One more question.
Yes, sir.
Particularly for youngsters who finish their bachelor's degree. You mentioned that they're getting around 35-45 lakhs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a pretty good package.
Yes.
But just want a small, how these employers are going to recruit just fresh bachelors without any experience and paying that much money, that much package.
Yeah, sure. Mary, do you want to answer this question? Because he is in well, and also the questions on that much salaries.
So first, I guess one initiative that our uni of Newcastle is doing is that from next year, all students, all undergraduate students will get real experience. So this actually means that during the degree, you would have some working experience already that you need to do as part of your course credits. Right. So this will be for all students from next year. Right, so this is actually not something that all other unis are happy to commit to because it's difficult to promise work experience for everyone, but we intend to do so from next year. Right, so about the salary, so overall Australia is a high salary country. So this is what even fresh graduates, they do get high salary. Right, so for example, if you're in accounting, right, so 10 years ago, right, so the minimum salary for graduate position is probably around 60,000. Now it is in mid 80,000 for a graduate position in a Big Four in Australia. Right, so this is in line with the high hourly rate and the high minimum wage in Australia as well. So currently the minimum wage in Australia, if you work casually, is roughly about $23 to $25 per hour. Right, so this is also resulted in the high salary even for graduates that do not have work experience. Does that help to answer? Right.
And also to add on what Maddie said, Newcastle is a regional university, regional city as a whole, and we have a lot of opportunities for international students and domestic students because we have a lot of companies, and as per law, all these companies should come and hire our students first since the university is in Newcastle. So that is why our salaries are always higher, but when compared to Melbourne, Sydney, definitely the salaries will be a bit lesser, you know, when compared to regional universities. So.
How about partnerships manager salary, man? Just kidding.
I won't tell the number now, but I'll give you a hint. All the salaries are on the uni website. You could have a look, right, and have a guess for how much we earn.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Good afternoon, ma'am. My question is to you, ma'am. Same as my dear colleague Ahmed asked that even I am also belongs to international other country. So I am from Nepal. So is there opportunity for the Nepal residentials to come and study over there as a postdoc?
Absolutely. So when you look at South Asia cohorts, Nepal students are higher in Newcastle. So definitely, yes, you have a lot of opportunities for Nepali students also. So if you have any proposal or abstract, you can always send it to our team, and we will forward it to the concerned department, and we'll get it done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, if you have any questions, the research scholars or students, please will have personal interactions. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your sharing insights with us. Thank you so much. Now we will break for lunch, and all the presenters who are presenting papers offline, please gather at Einstein Hall, first floor. Right, this room on the first floor. Beside Einstein Hall, we have boardroom. All the offline presentations will take place at Einstein Hall at 2 p.m. Please gather sharply at 2 p.m. Please take your lunch and gather by 2 p.m. If you have any difficulties in locating the room, we have student volunteers. Our student volunteers will guide you to the boardroom. All the very best for your presentations. And first floor, Einstein Hall, first floor. Just beside Einstein Hall, first floor, we have boardroom. If you have any difficulties, please contact the student coordinators. They will be seated here. They will guide you to the boardroom. And this session will be chaired by Dr. Sudarshan Jayasingh, and co-chair will be Dr. Raghavendra Sir, Associate Dean, VSB. All the very best for your presentations. Thank you so much.